This is the intro. Enjoy. Hello, guys. D-Man here, doing a Steven Universe discussion slash theory slash question video. Mostly questions, but maybe a little bit of theory in there, and also discussion, obviously. So I'm gonna do it about three things. So let's get into the first one, obviously. The first one is a little bit funny, just a little bit of my own question. So basically, Peridot doesn't know what singing is, and I'm wondering if all the gems at Homeworld don't know what singing are. I mean, singing is, I guess. I wonder if all the Homeworld gems don't know what singing is except for the diamonds, because we know that Centipede in Monster Reunion showed Steven that the corruption was a light, a sound, and a song. One of those. Which means the diamonds do know singing, which means they could be keeping singing away from the other gems to not allow them to be able to corrupt other gems, I guess would be a thing. But it brings up questions for me, you know? Because in the song Life and Death and Love on Earth, she doesn't know how to sing, she doesn't know what singing is, and she thinks it's easy and useless, but she does it anyways, and she likes it at the end, obviously. So, does that mean like, she should know what it is, or she shouldn't? Does that mean no other gem at Homeworld knows what it is? Or they do? It's just a question I have to ask. But then again, it is Peridot, and she has not known what her limbs are, obviously. She called them different names. And then Ruby, the Ruby with the eyeball, called her eyeball. So, like, when she said, I saw it with my own eye. So does that mean when you were on Earth, they learned our culture, kind of? Or does that mean some gems know more stuff than other gems do, or... Obviously, that is true. Some gems more stuff than other gems do. But I just don't understand the thing there and why she doesn't know how to sing. I guess it's just because it's kind of like a dictatorship, and they're like, no free time. You do what we say, and that's it. And they're completely content with that. I guess it's just a weird question I have to ask. Okay. So since we got that question kind of funny thing out of the way. The second one is about Lapis and Jasper's fusion. Now, a lot of people, when they, on, sorry, but on the episode, Alone at Sea, Jasper stated that Lapis is more of a monster than she is. Jasper stated that Lapis is more of a monster than she is. She said this. Now, we don't know. A lot of people assume that she meant, like, because Jasper abused her and stuff like that. But I thought that it was because she saw her pass in the war. But as we know, you don't see everything other gems see when you're fused with them, obviously. I mean, look at Rainbow Quartz. When Pearl was fused with Rose, Rose couldn't tell that Pearl hated Greg. Or maybe she could, but she just didn't say anything. We don't know. We don't know too much about that. But we also know that you can see stuff from the past when you're fused, because Stevonnie and Steven do it in Mindful Education, the episode that just came out a bit ago. They do it in Mindful Education. They see stuff from the past that happened to Connie or Steven, which is odd. So I think that it could be either or, because obviously you don't know everything about the other gem, but you still know stuff from their past and stuff. But it could be that she's like, you're more of a monster because you treated me like shit, or it could be that she's like, you're a monster because I saw all the stuff that you did in the war. I guess we won't know until we either get more backstory or explained by Jasper or something like that. I would like to know, but we might never know. Who knows? That's another question, I guess. Personally, I still think that Jasper saw what she did in the war, and it was really fucked up. And I want to elaborate on that, but we can't until we get more evidence. I still think that's what happened. But most people think that's because she abused Jasper, obviously, which could be the answer, but I still think Jasper saw past events through Lapis' eyes. Hey guys, sorry for that jump cut there. But as I was saying, I think this episode was basically setting up a future episode where we look into the past at what Lapis did in the war. I mean, there was a part in the episode where she pretty much told Greg not to put her in charge, pretty much screaming at him not to do it, fearfully screaming at him not to do it. So I think this episode was setting up for a future episode where we're going to learn a little bit more about Lapis' past and what she did in the war, instead of, I was just a neutral party that came to Earth. I don't believe that. I think she did something horrible, or at least along the lines of what she thinks is horrible, and Jasper thinks is horrible too. I don't think it's just because she treated Jasper like shit. I think it was because she did something bad in the war. And we're going to get more out of that. And the thing that makes me think that the most is what she said to Greg is, don't put me in charge. And it was full of fear. It wasn't full of anger, it was full of fear. Which really shows me that she's fearful of being put in charge because she did something to the Earth. At least in my opinion. I could be wrong, obviously. But we won't know until future episodes. Or we won't know at all. Who knows, right? But the third topic, let's get on to the third topic, obviously. So speaking of mindful education, the last part of that was Rose showing up. And a lot of people depict that as Steven seeing his mother as like evil or like bad. Yet I depict that as seeing his mother as disappointed in him. I've seen that look before from my family and also a few of my friends. If you have, the look's similar or even exactly the same, and it's not anger or sadness, it's disappointment. It's like, I'm so fucking disappointed at you. It depends on what you did, obviously, if you care or not, but Steven obviously does care, because he thinks that his mother's disappointed in him because he couldn't do what she wanted him to do. He couldn't, like, go up to her standards, pretty much. He couldn't become her. He couldn't do what she could do. And he couldn't be better than her, what he probably thinks that he wanted him to be. He probably thinks that she wanted him to be better than her. And he couldn't because he had to do all these horrible things. And if you think, well, no, it's an evil look that he gave her. I want to show you this picture. If you're not looking at the screen, look at it. You could say this picture looks evil. You could say this picture looks like it's filled with malintent. But this picture does not look evil. It looks like it's filled with disappointment, obviously. Because Steven is disappointed in himself, which makes his mom disappointed in him. Well, at least that's what he thinks. I mean, remember the episode, I forgot the episode's name, but it was with Sadie. It was the first season, I think. They watched the tape of Steven's mother, and she said, every time you love yourself, that's me loving you, right? So he's disappointed in himself, and his brain is making it think that that's his mother disappointed in him and not himself disappointed in him. If you can understand what I mean. Because in that episode, she says, every time you love yourself, that's me. So he's correlating that to, she must be disappointed in me because she's inside me and I'm disappointed in myself. So she's disappointed in me for not being able to do what she set out for me. which is what he's thinking, obviously. And that's not true, obviously, because we know Rose isn't the best person, but he still has a picture of her in his head where she's like this, pretty much this perfect person. And he's like, I'm not as good as you. I tried to be better. I couldn't, and I'm still like, you're just disappointed in me. He probably thinks that she wanted him to save Bismuth and Jasper and Ruby, and she didn't want him to do anything bad to them. That's why he thinks that she's disappointed in them, because he thinks that she wanted him to save them, which is dumb, obviously. But that's why he thinks she's disappointed in him. In my personal opinion, that's a face of disappointment. I know I'm getting a little bit incoherent here. I'm still a little bit sick, mind you. So if you can't understand me, the premise is she's disappointed in him, or he thinks she's disappointed in him, because he's disappointed in himself. So yeah, that's just my theory. That's just my thoughts on that, I guess. Not really a theory. It's my thoughts. I guess you could call it a theory, because some people would say, no, she's angry, she's evil. But I would say no, it's disappointment, obviously. But you can say whatever you want, really. Leave a like on this video, comment, subscribe, obviously, share, do all the above. And as always, my friends, stay sane. Peace. Hey guys, D-Man here. Just remind you to like, comment, and share this video. And also, subscribe to my channel by clicking this thing right here, or going down there and clicking the subscribe button, especially if you're on cell phone or tablet. Remember, stay sane, my friends.